to see you. So today we are doing the what I've been watching for the month of February video. I feel like February has been the longest month ever and it has the fewest days. What is up with that? Anyway, so we're going to be talking about shows, movies, that kind of thing. And today I was actually quite hungry and didn't have time to make breakfast. So I brought some tea up here. So I'm going to be drinking tea while we talk about stuff. Don't you like this little teacup? It's not little, it's actually quite huge. My husband got it for me for my birthday, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I absolutely love it. It's so cute. It says besties, and they're besties. I love it. But I really like that it is, like, textured, and I like that it's, like, this creamy white color. And my favorite part is how the color is on the inside. I love cups that do that. So I decided to drink this during the video so that my stomach doesn't growl. I hope you don't mind. Okay, so I want to make sure there's room. I usually like putting the picture over there, so I just wanted to make sure there was room for the picture. Okay, so the first thing that I watched is a TV show. Yeah. It has 3 seasons. It is on Netflix, and it is called Louder Milk. Strange name, right? I know. I watched the trailer, and I was just like, what the hell is this show about? Okay, so Rotten Tomatoes score, give it a 93. Audience score, gave it a 93. Yep, I 100% agree with that rating. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, and that's not good. I hate that. Okay. So, this show stars Ron Livingston. I love Ron Livingston. Will Sasso, I love him. He, I'm pretty sure the first time I saw him, I think it was like Mad TV. I think he used to be like one of the original cast members of Mad TV. And it also stars, yikes, Anja Savcik. I don't know. You know I can't pronounce names. Okay. This show, it's been around for a while, apparently. Like, I think it originally started on the AT&T network. Did you know that AT&T had a channel? What? I had no idea. I'm gonna set this down. I feel like it's distracting. Okay. Then it moved to Prime or something. I never knew that it was on Prime because I would have watched it there. But now it is on Netflix. There are 3 seasons, and it's not that the show is canceled. It just kept moving around. It's never been like renewed for a 4th season, but it hasn't been canceled yet. And since it's been on Netflix, it has just exploded apparently, and everybody's watching it. And they're in talks for a season 4. They just have to discuss with Netflix, like, please, you have us on your platform. Let's get the show rolling again, But it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's just they're talking about it. So that's how good it is. The show hasn't been on the air or whatever for years, like a few years. And Netflix has revived it, and everybody loves it. Probably no one knew about it because it was on the AT&T network. What? Okay. Anyway, so what is this show about, right? Okay, well, imagine, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, hold on. Let's blame my daughter. My daughter is starting to get sick, and I think it's happening to me. Okay, so Ron Livingston is famous for that movie, Office Space. If you have not seen Office Space, stop watching this video right now. Go find it. I don't even know. It might be on Netflix. It's definitely one of my favorites. It is fantastic. But if you've seen that, in that show, that movie, he gets to a point where he just doesn't care about things, right? It's kind of like that. I'm not sure if Ron Livingston is an actual actor. I think he's one of those people that just shows up on a set and he's like, hey, I'm gonna be in this today. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's one of those. But in this show, he is an recovering addict / alcoholic. And he is a sober friends counselor, which is like AA, okay? And he, is like the leader of an AA group, really. And it sounds boring, I know, but it's about that. And it's just about the relationships that they develop in their group, and like you find out all the people's backstories, and it's actually really funny. It's funny. Do not watch it with kids because it is inappropriate funny. But it's like one of those shows where you're watching the show and you're into the story, and then there's a character off to the side that just says something real quick, and you're like, what? Did he just say that? Like, if you're not paying attention, you would miss it. You know what I mean? But it's these random, just quick one-line things that you're just like, oh my god, what is happening? What is this show about? It was so good that I watched the whole series twice. I'm in the middle of it right now with my husband, and he loves it. He loves it. At first he was like, yeah, we'll watch another show, what should we watch? And so I was like, you gotta watch this show. And they're like 26 minutes long, so you can binge it quite quickly if you want to. But he watched one episode and he was like, what the hell is this show? And I was like, just keep watching it. And now he's just like, it's the funniest show ever, and he absolutely loves it. And it's hilarious and just unexpected. It's and real, like, I think this is how a lot of real life situations are when you're in AA or whatever. But it's not just terrible stuff. It's like they add comedy on top of it, which is great. So, but I absolutely love the show, and I hope that they bring it back for a season 4. Okay, the next show that I watched is also on Netflix. I watched a lot of stuff on Netflix this month. Okay, so this is a limited series, and it's on Netflix. It's called Griselda. Rotten Tomatoes score gave it an 87. Audience score gave it a 71. I don't recommend it. Like, I mean, it's good. Okay, it stars Sofia Vergara. I don't know how to say her name, but Sophia, you know who I'm talking about, right? She did a fantastic job. Like, I feel like a lot of people thought, or probably still think, because of Modern Family, that she was just this ditzy, like, stupid Hispanic lady, okay? And the reason why I say that is because if you've seen Ellen, like, that whole clip with her on Ellen, because Ellen wanted to teach her American words, and it's like, hello, she's not, you know what I mean? And, like, you can go look it up on YouTube. It's very cringy. But I feel like because of how well she played the character in Modern Family, a lot of people think she's like that. And she's not. She's very smart, and she's not. This show proves she's not the Modern Family lady, okay? She is a real actress, and I've never seen her in anything else except Modern Family and like America's Got Talent, or I don't know, one of those shows, you know. I see like little clips on TikTok or something. Anyway, she does a fantastic job in the show, but I don't like the show for several reasons. Okay, so it is about this woman, what is her name? Griselda Blanco, and her rise as a leader of one of the most profitable cartels, like in the late 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s. I'm not sure about that. But the reason why I don't like it is I don't even want to say it's a good story, because it's actually a terrible story. The woman that she plays, Griselda, the show Netflix tries to make you have like feelings for her, and you're like, oh, she's just trying to make it in the world, and like bleh. She comes from, oh, I don't know, I don't want to say Colombia, but like when you think of cocaine you think Colombia, right? It's somewhere like that, you know. And something happens in Colombia and she's like, okay, I gotta get out of here, so she comes to America. And then she's like, she's got 3 kids. She's like, I gotta take care of these kids. What do I do? And her friend is like, I'll help you, but you gotta stay out of the drug business, you know. And she's like, oh yeah, I will. She smuggled like I guess a kilo, or like, I don't know, it was a big pack of cocaine, like pure cocaine, in her son's luggage on the on the flight here, okay? And she's like, let me just sell this real quick. I'll make some money. I'll be able to get us settled here, right? And so you're like, oh, okay, she's trying to do something for her family. Like, yeah, she's gonna do a little risky stuff, but she's from that life, you know, so it's not that risky for her, you know. So she's like, let me just sell this real quick and make money, because she wants to take care of her family. But then she like starts rising, you know, because she starts selling more, and like she did do some pretty smart smuggling things. I'll tell you that. Like, she had women come from Colombia with cocaine on them, but it was sewn into their bras. What? So like if they get patted down or searched, there's nothing. Because what are you gonna do? Take apart someone's bra? No. They might do that now, but back then, no. But I feel like she got way too greedy. There's like crazy wind outside or something. I feel like she got way too greedy, because she could have stopped. She had so many opportunities to stop, and she's like, nah, I'm just gonna keep going, because I'm not gonna let a man tell me what to do, and blah blah blah, you know. Which, you know, but if she wanted to take care of her family and like get out of the business and stuff, she had so many opportunities, you know. But I'm not giving anything away. I mean, but I feel like the show tried to like humanize this woman and make you feel like, oh, let's get, you know, this character that is so loved, this actress that is loved, you know, and it'll make people feel for this Griselda character. No. This woman was insane. She was insane, crazy, selfish, terrible. When I was done watching this, I was like, I don't like it. I went and watched a documentary about her. She was never good. She never did anything good. She was actually like an evil person, based off of history and, you know, records and stuff like that. Maybe in real life she was super nice to a certain group of people, maybe, but I just feel like she was awful, and it made me mad that Netflix tried to make you feel for her. And it's like, why? Why? I don't know. But I want to talk about Sophia's transformation in this show. Sophia Vergara, whatever, is one of the most beautiful women in the world. I don't care who you are. You cannot tell me that she's not beautiful. She's one of the most beautiful women in the world, okay? Go look at the real Griselda. No resemblance, nothing, okay? Which is fine. Hire a beautiful actress to play an evil person to make me feel feelings for her, okay? What did they do to her face? Okay, what was the purpose of that? If you've seen the movie or you haven't, go look up Griselda's face transformation or something. It's terrible. I watched a video with the makeup being put on her. They put a prosthetic nose on her. Why? There was no need. Nothing. And then they like caked on a lot of yucky makeup, and they gave her face like this weird texture, and like, what are they trying to do? Ugly her up? You can't ugly this woman up. She's freaking beautiful, okay? It doesn't matter what you do. You know that she, like, you know what I mean? What was the point of that? Like, the show just really pissed me off, like everything about it. And I don't know why. But I do not recommend that show. But again, the acting, fantastic. It was just the show. And like a lot of the stuff in the show never even happened. The bad stuff did. The nice, good things, no, never happened. Anyway, I'm done talking about that because I'm getting pissed. Okay, alright, the next thing that I watched was a movie, and I watched it 3 times. Yeah, that's right, 3 times. A movie 3 times. I watched it by myself first because I was like, let me see if this is good, you know, because it was kind of like a kid movie, and the kids had off in February because there was like, I don't know, like a inclement weather day and President's Day, something like that. So they had like a 4-day weekend. So I was like, okay, let's think of things to do on those days for the kids, right? So I watched this movie. It is on Netflix. It's called Orion and the Dark. Rotten Tomatoes score gave it a 90. Audience score gave it a 62. What the hell, audience? 90 and 62? Like, that's crazy, right? Okay, it stars Jacob Tremblay and Paul Walter Hauser. What is this movie about? It is an animated movie, but I love how it is animated because it's very different. I don't know how to describe the animation. It's almost like animation and claymation or something. I don't know. It was really cool. I liked it. I watched it because of the trailer. But it's about this boy. His name is Orion. And this boy is terrified of everything. Everything. Like, he has, like, antisocial tendencies and, like, paranoia, anxiety. Like, he can be in a situation and just try and think of the absolute worst outcome possible. And I'm like, oh my god, this is my son. But like, he's going on a field trip or something, and he doesn't want to go on the field trip. He doesn't turn his permission slip, and they're like, why don't you want to go on the field trip? And he was like, a field trip? That is not okay. Okay, first of all, because they're going to go to the planetarium. And he's like, you want me to get in this rinky-dink yellow bus crammed full of students from my entire grade. We could get into an accident. Nobody's paying attention to those kids, blah, 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 blah. And, like, he goes off the deep end on what could happen. Not just in that scenario, but every scenario, okay? And it's hilarious because I deal with that every day with my son, okay? So, I immediately was in love with this boy because I'm like, oh, it's my baby. But it's time for bed. And I'm like, oh no. Because this kid is scared of the dark. And it's like, who isn't scared of the dark? I'm scared of the dark, okay? Like, there's never a dark room in this house. No. We got night lights everywhere. We've got, like, pretty light shadow things going on in my kids' room. I have a lamp that's been turned on in my house since the day I moved in. I've never turned it off. Not once. I'm afraid if I turn it off, the light bulb is gonna die. Anyway, but because I need to see what's happening in my life, you know, like, what if there's a bug crawling around and I don't know? Not that, you know, but, like, what if there's a bug? Or what if there's, like, you know, I don't know, but I need to see stuff. And my son is scared of the dark because of me. My daughter, not so much. My husband, he could care less. Anyway, so this kid is scared of the dark and it's bedtime and he's like, oh my god. So he puts all the night lights on and the starry stuff, and the bedroom door stays open, and then the electricity goes out and he has a flashlight and he's like, oh my gosh, because he's scared of the dark. And he's like, I hate you. I hate the dark. I hate you, you know? And all of a sudden, dark turns into, like, this entity, like, to a physical form. And he starts talking to the kid, and the kid is like, oh my god, wah, you know, like, extra scary. But the dark, like, is character on its own, okay? And he starts arguing with the kid, like, how would you feel every single night of your life? All you hear is kids talking about how much they hate you and you're the worst and, like, blah blah blah, you know? And he's like, I'm a good guy, I'm just doing my job, you know? And it makes you feel for the dark, right? So anyway, the dark is like, hey, just come with me for one night and let me show you all the cool stuff about me, you know? And it's about his journey with the dark, you know? And I don't know, it sounds not really that great, but it really is. It is so good. Like, I watched it and I was like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. And then the end happened. And it was literally a 3-second thing at the end, and I immediately was like, and I almost started crying. I was like, do not cry, do not cry. But it was the greatest ending ever. And I was just like, oh my god. So I was like, okay. I told my husband about it, and he was like, that sounds really good, I want to watch it. So I was like, okay. So we watched it that night. He was like, that was a great movie. And I'm like, I can't believe that it's not like a Disney movie or something. I think it's like DreamWorks. I don't know. But then I played it for the kids, and my son loved every single second because he was like, that's just like me. That's just like me. That's just like me. And I'm like, okay. So after the movie, I was like, so are you scared of the dark now? And he's like, well, the dark's not a real person, so yeah. And I'm like, but no, it was showing you that dark is just doing its job, you know? Like, now I feel like when there's darkness, I'm like, oh, hey, like, about the character from the movie. I feel like that movie is great for kids who are scared of the dark or scared of anything, you know? I absolutely loved it. Loved it. So I don't understand the audience score of 62. Like, what? Why? Why is it 62? And there are all these characters in there that go with the dark. So there's sweet dreams, weird sounds in the night, anxiety, sleep. And sleep is hilarious. it shows you how sleep puts people to sleep at night, and it is shocking. But really great, great family movie, great movie just to watch if you want to see something good. Okay, the next movie, is it a movie? Yes. It is on Hulu, and it is called Self-Reliance. Rotten Tomatoes score gave it a 72. Audience score gave it a 72. I'd give it probably like an 80-ish, because it's not like I would watch it again, but it was very entertaining while I was watching it. It stars Jake Johnson, Anna Kendrick, and Andy Samberg. Yeah. Okay. So this movie is a comedy slash, I don't even know. I don't know. So this man, he's like walking home from work or something like that, and this limo pulls up next to him, and he's like, and the window goes down, and it's Andy Samberg, and he's like, hey, and the guy that's walking is like, are you Andy Samberg? And he's like, yeah. He's like, okay, hi. And then Andy Samberg's like, do you like limos? And the guy's like, yeah. And so he's like, okay, get in. And he's just like, is this happening? What the hell? How is Andy Samberg? Like, what? So he gets in, because it's like, who's not going to get in? It's Andy Samberg. So he gets in, and he's like, okay, hey, Andy Samberg, what's going on? And Andy Samberg is like, okay, do you do you want to play a game? And he's like, okay. So I think he was messing around with something downstairs. So he's like, there is a game that's going on the dark web, and they have researched you and would like you to be a member of this game show. And he's like, oh, what the hell? What is the game? He's like, okay, you just need to continue living your life, and at the end of 30 days, you will get $1 million. There's already cameras set up in your house, everywhere that you could possibly go. This is a reality show, like a reality game show, but it's on the dark web. And he's like, what? What do you mean? You know, the reason that it's on the dark web is because there are people all over the world who are also playing this game. But the point of the game is to kill you. So if you can survive 30 days, you'll get $1 million. And the only rule is they can't kill you when you are with someone. So as long as you're with someone 24 hours a day for 30 days, you'll win the money. And the guy's like, what? Like, this can't be real. And he's like, yeah, it's real. You want to do it? And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. Because he's bored with his life or something. So that's what the movie is. You're following him around for 30 days and seeing people try to kill him. But he goes home and tells his family. So Andy Samberg came up to me and was like, you're going to be on a show on the dark web. People are going to try to kill you, so you have to be with me all the time. You can't leave me. And his family thinks that he's crazy because in his past he has had like kind of mental breakdowns or has been kind of, what is it called? Eccentric. Stuff like that. So they're like, okay, Andy Samberg just pulled up next to you in a limo and told you that you would have $1 million in 30 days. And he's like, yeah. And they're like, okay, buddy. It's like, how do you prove that? There was no paperwork. Anyway, so it's just interesting. It's interesting, and it's actually quite hilarious. And also scary. I do like it, but I wouldn't watch it again. You know what I mean? Okay. The next thing that I watched is a movie. It was on Netflix. Listen to these scores. Rotten Tomato score gave it a 44. Audience score gave it a 97. What? What? Okay, so it stars Dennis Quaid and Colin Ford. And this is a true story about Ricky Hill. And it's about his life growing up to an adult. He is a boy who has leg braces, kind of like on Forrest Gump, the braces. But he also has a degenerative spine disease. So his spine is like I think when he's like 18 or whatever, the doctors tell him that he has the spine of a 60-year-old man, so it's like not good. But this boy who has these issues also has a dream of playing professional baseball. And it's like, yeah, right. Keep dreaming, and that's exactly what his dad and his family say. They're like, no, you gotta stop doing that. You gotta focus on other things. And his dad, Dennis Quaid, is a pastor, something like that. He's like the head of a church. Anyway, so his dad is telling him, his dad's real strict. I do not like his dad. Like the whole movie, he's kind of a jerk, and I'm just like, I don't like that. But his dad is just like, you're not playing baseball, you're not doing none of this, blah blah blah. But the boy is really good at like throwing or pitching. I don't know what it's called. No, not pitching. Like he throws something up and then hits it. I don't know what that is. I don't know baseball words, but he can hit that ball with the bat like way far out, like it's home runs every time. Okay. So technically he doesn't even need to run, but this boy has like the odds stacked up against him, and like he's just like, I'm gonna do this, and somehow he gets onto like a little league team, and then he gets better and better and better, and then his dad finally lets him play. He like plays secretly. He like forged the permission slip or something, but then the dad finds out, but it's just about that. And then he gets hurt, and it's like, it's a really good movie. Like, it makes you feel good, but you're also scared for this boy that he's gonna get hurt, and you just feel for this kid, you know what I mean? And it is a true story, and I'm shocked that, like, where did this movie come from? Because I think it might be maybe it came out in the theaters. I don't know. I've never heard of it. It just kept popping up on my For You whatever, and I'm like, what is this? And I watched the trailer, and it was just two kids talking about baseball and arguing and stuff, but it like sucked me in. So I was like, what is this movie about? So I watched it, and I was like, oh, it's really good. So I don't understand why Rotten Tomatoes score gave it a 44, because the audience score gave it a 97, because it is a good movie. And I think it's also like directed or like written or produced, whatever, by the same person who made the movie Rudy. But anyway, I do recommend that. It's like a feel-good, emotional type movie. Most sports movies are, it's like they get you in the feels. Okay, the last thing that I watched was on Hulu. It is a movie called The Pod Generation. Rotten Tomato score gave it a 42. Audience score gave it a 55. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the movie. Maybe I got low scores because it's like, I don't want to watch that ever again. It's not that it was bad, it was just, okay, so the only reason that I watched it is because it had Emilia Clarke in it, and I love her. And it also had this name, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Maybe. I don't know. So it's set in the not so distant future, where everything is like mega technology, and like it's so futury that like there's no more like nature. Everything is taken up, like the trees are gone, the grass is gone. They have these things called like nature pods or something so that you can get fresh air. So it's like a bar that you can go to. It's an outdoor bar, and there's like this little plant inside this dome, and you put like a little mask on and you just breathe the fresh air from the plant. What? That's how like nature is just out of the picture, So this woman, Emilia Clarke, she works for some mega tech company, and she's like real high up the ladder, okay? And her husband is like a professor, but he's a botanist, so he's all about nature and plants, and I guess he would technically at that point be like a history teacher, like remember trees and stuff, because he would take his students out and there would be holographic or fake like simulated trees, and then he would take them to like little sanctuaries and show them real trees, and they're like, what? Like, I don't know, it's just weird. Anyway, but they decide that they want to have a baby, and in this future time you can have a baby like normal people, with your own body. Gross. That's what they make you feel like. That's like the old ways, like, oh my god, you had a kid like inside your body. Ugh. Or you can go to, I don't know what it's called, but it's this pod thing, and it's this company that basically takes your egg and the sperm, and they make the baby. It's like a designer baby. You can pick if it's a boy or a girl, and also women can have babies by themselves, but they can only have girls. If they wanted a boy, they would need the boy chromosome or whatever. What? Because they take like some type of stem cell mixed with the, I don't know, it was confusing, but I was just like, what in the hell? Okay. Anyway, so they take the sperm and the egg and they mix it together, and mix it together, you know what I mean? Anyway, and you can decide what color eyes, what color hair, boy, girl, blah blah blah, right? Which I'm pretty sure you can do that now, maybe, I don't know. But you don't have the baby inserted into your tummy, and you don't have it inserted into like a surrogate. You have it inserted into this big pod. It's like a massive Easter egg that's like hard, and they have these special like slings that you can wear on the front or the back, and you can carry the pod around with you all the time. And there are apps on the phone where you can give it the nutrients that it needs, different flavors, so that when the baby's born it's not allergic to things, and blah blah blah. It sounds cool, but it's really freaking weird. And like you can tap in like at a certain age when the baby's growing in the pod, you can like tap in this thing and go like this, and you can see into the pod, and that is really, really cool. You can see what your baby looks like, what it's doing in there. That is the coolest thing about it. But it causes like detachment, and like it's kind of like just a thing because you can set it on its little charger base and just it's there, but you can go on with your life, just, you know, click the little thing on your app, like no big deal. To get this pod baby is like $20,000 depending on what you pick and choose. And then at a certain time, you know, the pod has to go to its back to this pod center, and it just waits there. They let you keep it at home to like bond with it for like 2 weeks, and then it goes back. It's so strange, so strange. And it's just this couple dealing with the strangeness of the pod and how like separated and distant everyone has become because of technology, I guess. I don't know. I did like it, but I think it was just because it was like, oh my god, this might actually come true, and I don't like that. Anyway, so it is an interesting watch. I do recommend watching it at least once, just so you can see, like, you know, that probably is the future, and I don't like it. I don't like that at all. But anyway, so that is all the stuff that I watched for the month of February. I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.